So first of all, what actually are the 4 Ps? The 4 Ps are place, powers, processes, and possibilities. Place can be a city, a region, a country, a group of countries, or even just worldwide. It's basically just where is it taking place. Powers are going to be the groups that hold the power and therefore influence the processes that are happening in that particular place. Processes are what is happening, what are we talking about? That could be, for example, the draining of wetlands. It could be the construction of a power plant. It could be the urbanization process, which then leads to a loss of biodiversity. And finally, possibilities would be the future actions and potential improvements or solutions for problems. The 4 Ps are going to be used in most, if not all, case studies, both to learn about them and to use them to answer questions. In my class, what we would do to apply the 4 Ps to case studies is we would draw a 2x2 grid with 4 squares, and each square would represent one of the 4 Ps. I think that this method of learning case studies using the 4 P structure makes it much easier to remember your case studies because it presents them as easy to understand and easy to remember factual examples full of data and the key information that you need. The 4 Ps are basically the basis of what you need to know and remember for your case studies, so using them as guidelines is definitely useful. Learning your case studies with the 4 P structure can actually help you a lot in essay writing too. By following the 4 Ps, your essay will have a very simple but very clear structure that is easy both for you to write and for your examiner to understand. So now I'm going to give you a quick example of what applying the 4 Ps to a case study would look like. For this, I'm going to use a wetlands case study from option A, freshwater. So first, the place. I'll be using the Kissimmee wetlands, which surround the Kissimmee River, located in central Florida, southeast of the USA in North America. Then we have the powers. The main powers here are going to be the Florida state government, as well as any flood control authorities in Florida and environmental conservation authorities in Florida. Next, we have the processes. For this particular case study, we have 3 main processes going on. The first one was to control the flooding of the Kissimmee River. That, for example, involved channelization, the construction of flood control structures, and the diversion of flow. The second process would be the severe impacts on the environment that followed this flood control process. This second process made the powers believe that something was wrong and made them act, which is the third process. The third process is the restoration of the original river floodplain. That involved a 4-phase plan with rediversion of flow and demolition of control structures, for example. Finally, we have the possibilities. The possibilities here could be the continuation of this restoring process, as well as further protection of the wetlands, for example, with the Ramsar Convention. So as you can see, what I did there is that I applied each of the 4 P to information that I had about the wetlands. The 4 Ps, as well as the information that I assigned to each one of them, will form the basis of my case study structure. That means that if I was to do this in the 2x2 grid, as I mentioned before, each square would contain the basic information and key data that I need to remember for this case study. Basically, what I need to remember for my case study will have been summarized from 3 whole pages, so a simple 2x2 grid with bullet points of key information.